Hi, good evening everybody and welcome to Mr. Wickins Reads, the Outlaw Varjak Paw by SF Saeed and illustrated by Dave McKeen. It is Friday, and I've heard some people twittering that they hope it ends on a cliffhanger this Friday. Which is agonising because it means you've got to wait all weekend to see what happens. So I've got some shout outs to do really quickly. So Aidan and Opal, yes, you're back with us again for the Outlaw. Brilliant. From Ulverston in Cumbria, welcome. It's really good to hear that you're listening again, and I hope you're excited as I am about it. And also a massive shout out to Ted and Barbara, as well as Rob and all his family as well. Give us a cheer. Silent cheer, brilliant. Excellent, well done. I think I heard you way off in the distance. Brilliant, I'm really glad that you're joining us for this. Here is chapter 5. Varjak woke. Oh yeah, because he'd just been dreaming, hadn't he? Okay. Varjak woke in the secret alleys. It was late afternoon. The first street lights were flickering on. High above, a few bright windows lit up the dark outlines of the city buildings. The snow had stopped, but it was still freezing cold, and the wind chilled him beneath his fur. He huddled by one of those grills in the ground beside a drain pipe. It didn't smell good, but at least it was warm. Holly and Tam were already up. They'd been searching the secret alleys for food. They hadn't found a thing. Where do all the mice go in winter? Sighed Holly. I wish I knew. Maybe Mrs. Moggs will have some. Are you ready to go, Varjak? He nodded. He felt better after sleeping, and he was hungry again, but Tam looked worried. She was crouched in a corner by a fire escape, nibbling nervously at her paws. We're not going now, are we? She said. I dreamed of the white cat last night. What, Sally Bones? Said Holly. Shh, don't say her name. She'll hear you. And then she'll... Tam, calm down, said Holly. It's okay. It's not okay. She'll be looking for us after last night. Well, we can't hide here forever. We've got to eat, and Mrs. Moggs always has something good to eat. Tam bit her fur. I'm not hungry. Now that's a first, grinned Holly. She leaned in close to Tam and whispered temptingly, think of the mice, the fresh taste of mice. It's too risky. Hot, juicy mice. Tam licked her lips. Stop it, she pleaded. Melting in your mouth. No, I said stop it, Holly, and I mean it. I'm not going out. It'll be night soon and she'll be on the prowl. Fine, said Holly. Stay in on your own. Come on, Varjak. She slipped out through the railings. Tam gawped. Come on, Tam, said Varjak. He knew it was risky, but he was going with Holly. He couldn't imagine being in the city without her. Besides, he wanted to meet Mrs. Moggs. He emerged from the secret alleys into the winter afternoon. Cludge was squatting in the rubble, guarding the railings. He barked cheerily at them. Oh, where you go? He asked. We're meeting some cats in town, said Holly. Cats? Cludge blinked. Cludge come? Holly frowned. Of course you can come, only you'll scare them. It's just that, well, you're a dog, Cludge, and we're cats. Varjak could see her point. He didn't like it, though. He hated the idea of leaving Cludge on his own. But Cludge seemed relieved. Cludge, not meet cats, he said. Cludge, stay. He planted himself firmly down in the rubble again. It looked like nothing could ever shift him from the spot. Tam, not go, he panted. No, she's too scared, said Holly. Silly Tam, barked Cludge. Yes, she is a very silly Tam, said Holly loudly. And she's going to be a hungry Tam, too, because we won't be bringing any food back for her. No juicy mice, no scrumptious fish, nothing. Tam squeezed out through the railings. All right, I'm coming, she said, but only because I'm a greedy, stupid Tam. They all laughed, and the three cats set off into the city. Just for a moment, Varjak thought he saw a flash of winter sun through the clouds, lighting up the sky, but then the clouds closed, and it darkened quickly. It was late afternoon, so there were many people about, bustling and striding along the pavements. The main roads were full of screeching, roaring cars. The three friends avoided them and stuck to the alleys where the noises faded, and it was quiet enough to hear their own paws padding through the snow. This was the world of cats, invisible to people, but going on constantly just below the city's surface. There were many walls before them. Holly always found a way over. She led them up lofty ledges, along strips of scaffolding, and down the other side. Varjak loved climbing walls. It felt free, up in the air, off the ground. This is how it should be, he thought to himself. The city's magical, wonderful place. It's our place. And now we're going to meet some new friends. But as night fell on the city, even Holly looked nervous. They came to a wall with clusters of barbed wire along the top and thick metal bars. It was scarred with holes. Posters were peeling off it. Graffiti was sprayed all over. They climbed up carefully and tiptoed forwards, avoiding the wire, keeping their balance on the edge. One misstep and they'd fall or be ripped to pieces by the barbs. Varjak's awareness tingled with danger. At first he thought it was because of the wire, and then he wondered, was someone following them? His fur prickled up. He focused on the sounds, and there, beneath the rumble of the city, he heard paws padding behind him. They were being followed. Whoever it was couldn't be friendly, or they'd have said something by now. Varjak's happy thoughts vanished like the sun behind the clouds. The city wasn't magical, it was dangerous. You had to fight to survive here. There's someone behind us, he whispered, and whirled round. Holly and Tam turned with him. Facing them, on top of the wall in the moonlight, Varjak saw 3 cats he'd never seen before. Tall, thin Siamese cats with tawny fur and pale green eyes. Their claws were long and curved. They looked lethal. "It's the Scratch Sisters," whispered Holly. "Good fighters." "The best fighters in the world," declared the leanest, meanest, tallest of them all. "I'm Eliza Scratch. These are my sisters, Melissa and Pernicia. Who are you?" "I'm Holly. We've met before." "Holly," said Eliza Scratch. "Yes, I recognise you now, and your fat friend Tam. But who's that funny-looking little cat with you? You there, what's your name?" Varjak didn't know what to say. Who were these cats? He could tell they weren't Holly's friends. It was best to be careful. "I'm new in the city," he said. "New?" said Eliza. "Where do you come from, then?" "Mesopotamia," he said brightly. The Scratch Sisters stared at him, eyes narrow, fur flattening in the wind. "Mesopo-what?" said Eliza. "Mesopo who?" said Melissa. "Messed up wherever," said Pernicia. "He's obviously not from around here, is he? He looks like trouble. Just look at that cut on his cheek." Varjak tried to smile. Oh, that's nothing," he said. "I just, fell down some stairs." "He's lying," snapped Eliza, polishing her claws on the barbed wire. "He's a cocky little so-and-so," said Melissa. Pernicia flashed her claws at Varjak. "You disrespecting the Scratch Sisters? You think we're stupid? Get off this wall. You don't belong here." Varjak's heart thumped. He hadn't meant to, but he'd made them angry. He looked round for a way out. There wasn't one. He was balanced finally on the wall. One side was barbed wire and the other side a long, long fall. Eliza's tail thudded slowly. "Well, what are you waiting for? We're the fastest claws in town, and we never, ever back down." "Never," said Melissa. "Ever," said Pernicia. The 3 Siamese knifed towards him, ghosting past barbed wire and bars as if they weren't even there. "Take it easy," yelled Holly. "Varjak's my friend. He's okay. He got cut fighting Razor." The Scratch Sisters stopped, just a whisker away from Varjak's face. He could feel their eyes on him like points of pale green fire. "Varjak," said Eliza at last. "You're Varjak Paw." "We have heard about you," said Melissa. "They say you fight like the Bones," said Pernicia. Try it. Go on, just try it, and we'll cut your throat. Varjak's pulse was racing. This was becoming a nightmare. He wasn't going to fight them, not after what happened with Razor. There had to be some other way to deal with these fierce, proud cats. But what? He held up his paws very slowly. You're right, he said. It's true, I can fight like Sally Bones, but that wouldn't be enough against the Scratch Sisters. No way, you're too powerful. I wouldn't stand a chance against you. No one would. The Scratch Sisters blinked, surprised. The fire left their eyes. Purred Eliza. Maybe he's not so bad after all. He knows what's what, said Militia, grooming her tawny fur. I still say he's cheeky, said Pernicia, but he's got a bit of respect. Not like her. No, he's not like her, Eliza nodded gravely. Okay, we'll let you live, Paw. But if it's true you fight like the Bones, you better watch out. She's been hunting down the toughest cats in town and beating them one by one. There's only a few of us left. Her gang's taken almost all of the city. It's not like the old days anymore. Watch your back. And with those words, the Scratch Sisters were gone. Faster than Varjak could see, they jackknifed down from the wall and ghosted into the evening, tails held high. Phew! Well played, Varjak. Got out of that one using his head to get out of trouble. Brilliant. Right then, that is the end of chapter 5. I wonder if we'll see those characters again. Brilliant, and we'll see chapter 6 on Monday at 6:30. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye.